So we can do what's Hondo on the mic. From Leo's Paradise, random stream drop like a Dragon Ball fight. No lie, plan stream stacking up, but here's a twist in time. Freestyling on the deck like Luffy's punchlines. Up the channels faster than Zoro sword swings. Gaining pop culture, it's the chaos he brings. Talking movie reboots, superhero hype. Hondo passing the mic, now Bishop's in sight. Cutting punch clean, frame by frame, I align. Laying bass lines heavy, keep the rhythm divine. Dropping 5 videos, can't keep up with the pace. Pass the mic back, Leo's leading the chase. Off the rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. No script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. The rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life.
And welcome back to the lunch hour. How are all you vital idols doing? I hope that you guys killed it on the day off yesterday. But we back in it. Maybe it's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week. It's that hump day. You're eating lunch, you're having a good time, you're just like, let's just get through this. Let's get through this halfway point of the week. It's hot outside, it's summertime. That's okay, I'm here to make your lunch hour go by fast. I'm here to make y'all feel special. Who else we got in the house today? Let's take a look. Collective Post-Wall Karens in the house. How you doing? The ever-lovely Piranha is here. Sebrew 1138. Joseph Frost Ghost, you'll love to see it. Schizo Sweets morning, all morning. You Abomination AJ. Abomination AJ was supposed to hang out with me last night. He was supposed to be like, yo, I'm doing a Tighten Up Tuesday. I'm gonna have Leon, you want to stream? Yeah, AJ, I'd love to stream. Nope, doesn't even hit me up. No, I'm joking, man. I love you. I appreciate you. If you did stream last night, I hope it went well. I didn't hear from him say okay. The lovely Sherry's in the house. How you doing, Sherry? Jen T Maxie is here. You'll love to see it. How you doing? Let's see. Yup, you're exactly right. Hump day, Shrapnel, hump day. CEW is here. Yeah, it's hot for sure, but hopefully the day chills out a bit. I think it's supposed to cool down a little bit around here. I mean, I don't know how much cool down means when everything was like on average 100 degrees, but you know, it is what it is. All right. What did Mutahar do this time? That's an excellent question. I got no idea. And that's something we're going to talk about today. I mean, we're going to talk about a whole lot of other stuff today. But, yeah, I got a video pulled up. A lot of people were talking shit on X. I was curious. I was like, all right, we're going to figure that out. But it's not just the Mutahar stuff we got going on. Let's see. I mean, there's a lot. Let's see. What else? So, the Sydney Sweeny ad that everybody was referring to, you know, that Sydney Sweeny has good genes ad. Yeah, that apparently is a huge deal. Like at first I thought it was just a bunch of, you know, retarded women, you know, throwing a fit, which we talked about on the countercast. Yep, nope. Turns out that it goes beyond just retarded women. There's actually several articles being written about it now. So didn't expect that whatsoever. And of course they're all in the same vein of, hey, this was a bad idea. This was a bad ad campaign. When that shouldn't have ever been the case, but whatever. Man, we got a lot going on. So, you know, I'd say, why don't we just go ahead and get into it? What are we going to cover first? I know there's someone wants to cover first here. Actually, before we get into the Mutahar stuff, let's start off with Collective Shout, because this is going to be we've been talking about it a lot lately. We've been talking about the Collective Shout stuff a lot lately. However, this will be hey, Sebrew, my man. Sebrew, remember for 8 months. Just to say companies that take advantage of non-rich people, credit card companies have a lot of nerve to censor things. I mean, all companies take advantage of people, rich, non-rich, but look, I get what you're trying to say here, but that applies to everyone, not just credit card companies. But in general, yes, I get it. Really? Because it made me want to buy jeans. Something that might actually, yes, exactly. Dude, I'm gonna be real. I thought it was a good ad. I thought it looked pretty damn good. All right, let's turn the audio down a little bit here because I had to change it for a video last night. Okay, perfect. Let's get your guys' chat on. All right. This is about payment processors are getting destroyed by gamers in response to their censorship. Now, I haven't seen this yet. It is more collective shout stuff. We're not going to spend as much time on collective shout today because we've got so much to go over, but I'm going to keep harping on it every single stream because it is important. Plus, as new information comes out, it's important to keep updated with it. So, this is a video by Hero Hey. I've not seen this yet. Let's go. Also, what up, Jeremy?
We've got a hilarious update on the payment processor situation. Quick context to this. We've got a hilarious update on the payment
that works. Just
processor
restart the video. That's
situation.
cool.
Quick context to this. Early on, when Collective Shout went after payment processors to try and get them to go after Steam, and Steam ended up changing their policies over all this stuff, removing certain adult games. You know the story.
Yeah, okay, I'm glad you said that because it was trying to go after Steam. What do you mean trying to go after Steam? They succeeded in going after Steam.
Well,
yeah, I can turn it up. Is it not loud enough? Give me one moment here. Let's, there we go. Let me know if this is any better.
We're coming up with ideas to fight back against the payment processors, and one of the ideas that was being shared early on was, for example, as you can see here on our Steam, 5 days ago, how to directly pressure payment processors. If you have a Visa card, go here. Tell Visa you're ticked. We need to directly pressure them. Be nice. Don't be rude. Remember, customer service tech you're talking to didn't make the decision.
Dude, it says don't be a dick. Come on, you're 38 seconds into your YouTube video. You could say dick. It's fine. It says don't be a dick.
But we need to stand up against censorship. And so some people are sharing their testimonials, if you will, their stories about what happened when they contacted these payment processors. And
by the way, for those of you that care, for those of you that are curious, I advocate for this. Absolutely. If whether you have Visa, MasterCard, whatnot, whether you have any of them, call these people. Call them from multiple times, from multiple lines. Put them on, you're going to sit on hold for like 2 hours or whatever. That's the point. Gumming up the works. Making it to where their business is being costed money by these angry gamers. And not just angry gamers, but individuals that are angry about censorship and about the lack, the inability to express, to use their freedom to spend their money the way they want to spend their money, as long as it's on legal products. Like once I've said it a million times, and I'll continue to say it. This is not just an issue about gaming. This is not just an issue nerd culture, comic books, movies, whatever. This is quite literally an existential threat to our overall freedoms. So yeah, I'm in full support of anybody who wants to do a little bit of douchebaggery here to the company, not to the people, but to the company.
it seems like this is actually on some level working. So this is a good update and also a hilarious one. So I mentioned there were some testimonials, or however you want to put it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This user saying, Visa card representative yelled at me. I called this number and simply asked about the content guideline.
All right, as somebody who has done plenty of phone work in my life, whether it be sales, whether it be IT, whatnot, as somebody that's been the person on the other side of this phone, like, rule numero uno is you're not supposed to lose your shit on customers or whatnot. For the most part, your boy was, yeah, okay, I've never been good about that. Like, I've always been an absolute dick on these phone calls, because my thought process is, you're calling me. You're not getting what you want unless we do it my way. And, like, maybe that's a really douchey thing to think, but, like, just letting you guys know what kinds of people do work these positions, because I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like, I used to work for CenturyLink, I've worked for AT&T, I've worked for various other companies that I don't want to say the name of. But the point is, I've been one of these phone operations dudes, and I was an asshole. I asked, customer, didn't matter. Other employee, didn't matter. If you are asking something of me, you're doing it my way because you called me. I didn't call you, vice versa. So I 100% believe, the reason I'm bringing all this up is I 100% believe this testimonial right here that the Visa card representative yelled at me, do not redeem, do not redeem!
We've been getting thousands of calls. You talked to someone? Who did you call? Other people accepted what I said, so why don't you? And then saying at Visa is cooked. And then we also got this one saying, did what I could today, did some work, called Visa. The man was understanding, put me on hold for 25 minutes, when back it was a new person who was...
This is how you know it's working. And it was, alright, here's the dealio. When someone puts you on hold for 25 minutes, they're doing one of two things. Again, as someone who's worked these positions, worked these jobs, if someone puts you on hold for 25 minutes, they're doing one of two things. They're getting you a supervisor, which can be very difficult because, for one, if you got a situation like this, that supervisor's probably taking multiple calls, or they're busy, they're in a meeting. Point is, they're trying to get somebody that is not just readily accessible right then and there. The other reason they're putting you on hold for 25 minutes is they're going out and having a smoke and just trying to see if you can hang up. Like they are trying to outweight you to see if you will hang up. It was one of those two things.
Very tired. I then repeated the whole story, and I could hear the sigh of energy draining when they knew what it was leading to. This one's crazy. It says, I wish this was a joke, but I got called a predator today by a Visa rep. Think I just happened to be called that. Think I just happened to be a call that pushed the woman over. Excuse me. Lodged 2 formal complaints after that and spun circles on the 2 calls and was...
Okay. This one is a little bit harder to believe. I'm going to be real. Because all these calls, you hear all the time, they're monitored for quality and assurance purposes and things of that effect. Like, the idea that Visa, especially because it's probably, if I had to wager a guess, foreign workers, like over in India or Pakistan or something like that. Like, I can't imagine they actually used the word rapist. Maybe there was some implications. Yeah, no, look, maybe it happened. Maybe it did happen, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. This one seems a bit extreme for me, but hey, whatever. Maybe it happened.
About 25 minutes. Why would you get called a predator, though? What the frick, dude? And
the reason they might be called a predator is because at this point, I mean, Visa, MasterCard, they are all well aware of this situation. Like, I'm sure the regular ass employees at this point have been brought into meetings being like, hey, we may or may not have pissed off a large contingent of the world, so you guys are gonna be busy getting calls the next couple of days. Just here's the rundown of it. Like, I bet there was just several team meetings and management meetings and whatnot that didn't explain the situation properly. The managers probably only have some sort of half-ass idea of what's going on, and they're probably like, yeah, apparently there was like some porn games that got taken off some like video game site, and now people can't use their cards for them, and they're pissed, and they're going to be calling about that. Like, I guarantee you while they're familiar with the situation, they are not familiar with the situation. So that is why he would have been called a rapist, if I had to wager a guess.
This one says, had a similar issue on the phone yesterday with Visa, in which they were hyper-aggressive, and the woman even tried suggesting that I must have been buying illegal content. What? Before launching into her, I'm going to disconnect the call now script. Wait.
Yep, that disconnect the call out script is okay. So at businesses like this, at jobs like this, you have a I'm gonna disconnect the call now script, which basically is supposed to exclusively be used for when the customer on the opposite end is being abusive towards you. They're yelling at you, they're swearing at you, they're calling you a cunt, things like that. And yeah, no, if this dude's calling in, assuming he is being honest and it's like, nah, I just called in and was being nice, and they started off aggressive because they were upset spaghetti because they've been dealing with this all day or whatnot. Like, I absolutely can believe this one happened as well. I've seen people abuse the fuck out of their I'm going to disconnect this call now script. And again, I've done it. Why? Because you called me. You're in my world now, Grandma, to go Happy Gilmore.
Wait, so is the implication here that they're being called like predators and buying illegal content because they're fighting back against these restrictions? That seems like the sort of thing like Collective Shout would say. Like, I wouldn't expect this from
I would. He was about to say, I wouldn't expect this from Visa. I absolutely would. Because, again, the reason these people believe this stuff, the people, as in the reason the people working for Visa or MasterCard believe this shit, is they have no goddamn idea what's going on. All I know is they came into work one morning, there was a massive influx in the call queue, and it's all angry gamers about not being able to buy Shun Steam. So what happens? Emergency team meetings are called. And what do the emergency team meetings do? They're pulling from the basic ass information they've gotten on the internet or from news outlets or whatever their higher ups brought down the pipeline, and you know how things get lost in the game of telephone. So like, I absolutely believe that they would be on the same mentality as Collective Shout in this, because they are getting some told by a friend, told by a friend, told by a friend version of this story.
People who are just like Visa hotline people, and I kind of feel bad for them on one hand because like they're just
I do not.
The employees who are not responsible for these policy decisions and whatnot. But like
employees are not responsible for the policy decisions, absolutely. But this is your fucking job. You shut the fuck up and do your job. Like, it sucks to have a busy day at work, and let's be real, gamers and free speech advocates in general just made all these people's work days a whole lot busy for the foreseeable future, or at least for the next few days or whatnot. But like, oh fucking well. Whoop-de-doo.
They shouldn't be accusing people of being predators and saying they're buying illegal content and everything. My point is...
No. Visa and MasterCard are not using Collective Shout as a scapegoat. It is absolutely... No. Collective Shout is a scapegoat. You are correct. But not for Visa and MasterCard are tools in this, just like Collective Shout, and there's somebody higher up on the totem pole that's in control here. No, you've got, I don't know if you're familiar with my content, Void Saint, but I've done a whole lot of videos on this, several. Watch those, check those out, and yeah, you'll do a whole lot more. Anytime I get it is can collaborate them, it's up on the business, do not redeem.
That seems like the sort of thing you would expect Collective Shout to say, right? Like, oh, you're upset with us going after these games, you must be a predator, or you must be buying illegal content or something, some nonsensical point like that. But apparently these people are saying that even some of these Visa hotline people are saying stuff like this to them. Maybe I'm misunderstanding this. I'm just trying to make sense of
why do you
some of these
redeem
responses that people are apparently getting. And as written here, the folks applying pressure know that someone at a call center has limited power in a scenario like this. Typically, agents are equipped to handle standard customer issues like payment fraud or credit card loss. But the point is not to enact change through a specific phone call. It's to cause enough disruption that the ruckus theoretically starts costing payment processors money.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Here's the strat here. Here's the big bang pro gamer strat, right? So, good goddamn well. I know, we all know, God himself knows, calling your regular Visa or MasterCard 1-800 number ain't gonna change shit for the Collective Shout stuff for Steam. However, you're not the only one calling these companies. Hayden, my man with a plan. I'll hit that in just a second, dude. Truly appreciate it. So here's what's going down. So if you've got thousands and thousands, maybe tens, because remember, these payment processors are worldwide, which means you've got these calls coming over worldwide. So I don't think it's a stretch to think that you could possibly have tens of thousands of people doing this. But let's say it's only thousands of people. Even so, if you've got thousands of people calling these Visa and MasterCard and payment processor customer service numbers for just this one issue, again, these are global companies. These are global corporations. So imagine how many calls they're getting on the reg for just for normal ass issues. Hey, my bank card got hacked. I need to deactivate it. Or hey, this payment isn't going through, but yet my card has money on it. Like, they're always getting calls for their various normal other works, right? And now you got an influx of thousands of calls about this extra issue. I mean, again, these Visa and MasterCard, they work with corporations and businesses. So you got calls coming in from corporations and businesses being like, yo, why isn't petty cash working? Things to that effect. So if you start costing Visa and MasterCard money because they are not able to help their regular customers because you're effectively gumming up the works, that disruption theoretically would be enough to cause change. Like that is why you should be doing it. If any of you guys are out there like, I'm not going to bother calling Visa or MasterCard because, there's absolutely no point to it. These people can't make... You're right. The people you're going to talk to can't make change. But the higher-ups, the money men, the people in the suits are going to see all this shit and be like, we cannot afford to take this hit. It won't work today. It won't work tomorrow. It's a drawn-out process. And my wonder, my curiosity, my thought is that people are going to give up, and MasterCard or Visa is like, we just gotta wait this out. They'll get tired from it eventually. It basically comes down to a war of attrition. Also, Hayden with a 10-banger says, the woman that started Collective Shout apparently sits on the Australian Government Internet Safety Advisory Board, something like that. I don't know if she sits on the board, but I do know that multiple women that started Collective Shout, it was a collective effort. Yes, they do all have ties to the Australian government. Probably people on the Internet and Safety Advisory Board, absolutely. Whether she sits on the board or she was the assistant to somebody on the board, because there were several people that were actually in the government. There were some that were assistants or to people who were on the government. So you were in entirely correct about that, Hayden. Absolutely correct.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
All right, let's keep going.
That takes us back over to Japanese politician Zenko Kurishita as
Based! This dude is awesome. I've started following him on X. He's been a bright spot in this whole debacle. Let's go.
what's written here shows you how Collective Shout went about this and why this strategy that gamers are now using to go after payment processors is essentially fighting fire with fire. So he says, the Australian organization Collective Shout has been pushing for content restrictions on Steam and itch.io, according to records published on their website.
And again, it is worth reminding all y'all, because I know we're all gamers, I know we're all nerds, but it goes so much further beyond that. Collective Shout's been pushing for content restrictions in every industry imaginable, not just Steam, not just itch, not just gaming in general. We're talking the makeup industry, we're talking regular ass retailers. Like, this is, it does not start nor stop with gaming.
He sent 1,067 emails to payment processors like Visa.
Yeah, Gaming Wolf. I've actually been a fan of Hirohei's content since way back during the Vic Mignogna stuff. I stopped watching him for a long time because, like, once I moved into content creation, I started only watching creators around my sphere and like small content creators rather than the big ones. But yeah, Hirohei is a great channel. He's been doing good stuff. Literally, I've been watching him for, when was the Vic Mignogna stuff? Like 2016. I'm watching this guy for nearly a decade now.
And MasterCard starting in May. If such a number of emails led to regulations that caused around 20,000 adult games to disappear, with reports also indicating that these games were removed from the libraries of users who had previously purchased them, it can only be described as a serious threat to creators and users, even though there might...
Never trust, nor side with, nor agree with, I mean, you can agree with him, but never trust or put stock in politicians. And as much as I like this guy and what he's saying, him as well, he's still a politician. He alone will not be enough to take things to the level we need them, but it is a good starting point, and we really need to hold politicians like this feet to the fire, hold them accountable. If they say they agree with us gamers, if they say they stand with our consumer rights, then we need to make sure to hold them to that, and they're not just saying it to be on the right side of history, to get votes, or whatever it may be. So while I appreciate that he's saying all of this, just make sure that we're not just going to let this one politician dude fight our battle for us, and we need to hold him accountable, much to the same extent as we need to hold these payment processors accountable.
have been many times more people who felt those works were fine or liked them. What about the effort put in by these creators? They are unilaterally decided without consideration. This asymmetry, along with the lack of transparency and information disclosure, is also a significant issue. And he cites Collective Shout's, presumably their own website here. Where
yes, this is their own website. This is the open letter they sent to all these payment processors.
They outline some of their strategy, as we just went over. And as mentioned,
Molly Gall says, "Oh no, my dramatical murder." That sounds like a really shitty My Chemical Romance cover band, which is funny because I already think My Chemical Romance is shitty.
Point to this is, well, if Collective Shout sent around 1,000 emails for that period of a few months or whatever it was, I mean, the internet can do a lot more than that. The internet can do a lot more than that, man. So it's kind of hilarious seeing these payment processors bending the knee to Collective Shout. And now it's like, oh, really? Okay, 1K emails and however many phone calls that these Australian feminists may have sent. Well, good luck now with the internet coming after you. Now, but
here's the dealio. The internet coming after them doesn't matter in the short term because these people have the monetary power on their side. They have the monetary power on their side, which is why you need to actually gum up the works and make it to where it starts costing them money. Because they can sit back, you can sit back all day long and bitch and moan and complain, but if you are not affecting their dollar, nothing will change.
Said before, I think it's completely reasonable speculation that the executives at these payment processors actually have no issue with Collective Shout trying to get them to do this stuff. What I mean more specifically is they want to try and abuse their power and see what they can get away with. So I don't think like the whole Collective Shout thing worked simply because they annoy these payment processors. No, I think these payment processors also saw this as an opportunity to test how much power and control they have, right?
I disagree with that. I do not think this is an opportunity for them to test how much power and control they have. I do think these payment processors again, these are people that work with world governments, and world governments want to see change affected. They want to see us living in the pods and eating the bugs. They want to make sure these world governments and world powers and shadowy organizations, and whether it be the Illuminati or the World Economic Forum, or whether it's just, governments in general want to have control and power, like, they want to see us stripped of our rights, and it's very easy to use these payment processors to do so. So yeah, I think it goes beyond. I mean, he's not necessarily wrong about the payment processors, but I think it goes beyond that as well.
So, simply annoying them back doesn't mean that they may start operating in a different way when those executives literally want to try to control the internet. But the point still stands that using the strategy of fighting fire with fire and clogging up their logistics can still harm the company. Here's a testimonial on Steam 4 days ago. This is about an email, so a bit different from the ones we read earlier regarding phone call responses. Says, so I got a response from Visa. Reads, hello, redacted. Thank you for reaching out and sharing your perspective. As a global company, we follow the laws and regulations everywhere we do business. While we
No, you don't. No, you don't. You, as a global company, you get to set the standard. So yeah, you follow the laws and regulations. That's the minimum. But then you can put your own arbitrary rules in and above those. So let's say the global standard. Let's just hypothetically say, hey, the global standard is that you can't buy illegal products. Well, yeah, obviously that makes sense. This shit is illegal. But let's say something is legal in America, but it's not legal in, I don't know, fucking Switzerland. If the company unilaterally wants to decide, well, this is illegal in Switzerland, let's just make it where you can't buy it, period, throughout the whole world, they can do that. So this is a bullshit cover story.
Explicitly prohibit illegal activity on our network. We are equally committed to protecting illegal commerce. If a transaction is legal, our policy is...
No, they are not. If they were interested, if they were committed to protecting legal commerce, then they never would have had this stuff taken off Steam worldwide. It would have been set region by region. Because maybe some of the content that's on Steam was illegal in certain parts of, let's say, Europe. For example, Schedule 1. Schedule 1 illegal in Australia. Niat told me himself, Niat an Australian, I trust him. Schedule 1 was pulled from Steam in Australia months ago, way before any of this collective shout stuff. So yeah, you obviously cannot use your Visa or MasterCard to buy Schedule 1 in Australia. But why can you not use your Visa or MasterCard to buy it in Australia? Because it's not even on Steam. Steam took it down to comply with Australian law. That's fine. Look, Steam having to comply with the law, the actual law, is totally fine. Now, you can bitch and moan at whether or not you agree with the law. Hey, you got petition your government, make some changes, whatever it may be. But Steam following the law is totally fine. Steam having to bow and kowtow and bend the knee to these payment processors who are going beyond the law is not fine.
To process the transaction.
Oh, it's unbanned in Australia now? Awesome. Thanks. Glad to hear that, Piranha Pal. Maybe I'll buy Schedule 1 for Niat.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. The OP goes on and calls that out too. We'll get to that though. Visa does not moderate content sold by merchants, nor do we have what? They really saying that? Visa does not moderate content sold by merchants, nor do we have visibility into the specific goods or services sold when we process a transaction. When illegally...
I feel like it's worth noting that the reason it was banned in Australia, or at least the reason they said it was banned in Australia, was because since the game was early access, it did not actually have a rating by their, games rating, corporation or whatever. I don't think they use the ESRB. I think the ESRB is just an American thing. Different countries have their own different game ratings and regulations. I know Europe is different than America, for example. They don't use the ESRB. So what I had heard is that since Collective Shout was in early access and the game did not have a formal rating, it couldn't be sold on Steam because that would make it available to everybody and it hadn't hit their age restrictions or guidelines or anything yet. I don't know if that's true, but that's the reason that I had read.
Operating merchant faces an elevated risk of legal activity. We require enhanced safeguards for the banks supporting those merchants. For more information on Visa's policies, please visit our network integrity page on visa.com, hyperlinked. Thank you for writing, Visa Webmaster. And
thank you, Prime Pal. Appreciate that information.
I guess I will just remove myself for a second. It reads, so basically their response was the biggest gaslighting I've ever seen. Talk about trying to block the sun with one finger. Never heard that one before. It's funny. They completely deny moderating content even when there's an overabundance of evidence. Anyways, we should keep on pressing the issue. I'll share the template I used on the first comment and the Visa website so you can give them your regards. Just remember to be polite but firm. Also, the template has been modified by me to not have invalid characters and have enough characters to send without issue, but is based on a template another user shared. Now, hypothetically, guys, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but like, if the single goal is to just like clog up their logistics and make things more complicated for the company and all that, that means you could even call them and just like make up some completely like insane story about like a fake fraud case that happened or something. Like, you don't even need to actually mention that it's about all this stuff.
I mean, you can do that. He is correct. I wouldn't do that. You want to mention about this stuff because you need to show, A, we're gumming up the works. We're causing you issues financially. And B, the reason we're causing you issues financially is specifically because of this issue.
Referring to, you know, like the payment processor, censorship and whatnot, you could be like, yeah, dude, my freaking dog was like chewing up my credit card and then I was trying to take it from his mouth and like my hand slipped after I like pulled it out. Oh, that sounded kind of weird. But
yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, again, he's right in that you can, but don't. These payment processors, again, every single one of these calls are recorded for quality and assurance purposes. And they need to know that all these thousands upon thousands of influxes of calls are specifically because of this issue.
But the credit card like went flying and some freaking like homeless person picked it up and ran off and I couldn't catch him. And now I think I'm like worried that there's a bunch of fake, you know, purchases. And then they're like, okay, what's your information so we can help you? It's like, dude, I don't remember. It's on the card. Like, I don't have the card anymore. Like, you got to help me, though. You can just, like, make up the craziest stuff. Oh, my gosh. Maybe that's a bad idea, though. Yeah, I'm not suggesting anything.
It is a bad idea,
I'm
yes.
just saying, though. And so back on the Reddit thread, someone basically said, like, yeah, man, all you got was a generic response, but I appreciate the effort. And the OP responds to that saying, honestly, I expected nothing, or a generic non-response email about how much they appreciate the feedback and do their best to work it out or something along those lines. What I didn't expect was such a blatant gaslighting attempt / straight up lie. Anyway, nothing new under the sun. I just thought the community might get a kick out of it. And I'll leave it there. Just thought some of this stuff was pretty amusing and I hope you guys got a laugh out of it. Despite some bad news lately, there is some wholesomeness with people fighting back together, fighting back against these corrupt companies and these corpos. So yeah. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed my coverage. I'll see you in the comments here and in the next one.
Yep. There we go. Good video. I will link this to you guys. Hero Hey does it pretty good, albeit usually like just short, bite-sized content. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad this is still a thing. I'm glad this hasn't been going away so far. We just need to make sure that it continues to not go away. Keep pressing the issue. Keep making sure. Again, I'm going to keep making videos on Collective Shout as long as there's something new to report. Not just Collective Shout, but these payment processors, other companies like this. Because at the end of the day, this story dies when we let it die. The news flow on the internet and just in real life in general nowadays is insane. The news flow on the internet, it changes. If a story is still going after a week, that is effectively an internet miracle. So if you think about Gamergate, for example, Gamergate, specifically Gamergate 2, was one of the most long-running stories in the history of YouTube. The fact that people were still getting thousands upon thousands of views with Gamergate coverage a year into it happening is nigh unheard of in YouTube standards. So let alone when stories die within a week, like that is crazy. Now, but that's also a rarity. That's an anomaly. We need to make sure this continues to happen, especially with an issue like this, which, let's be real, is way fucking bigger than Gamergate. Like, I'm not disparaging Gamergate 2.0. Obviously, I was one of the folk on the ground fucking floor covering it and more or less launched this channel. But that being said, what's the bigger issue? Ugly bitches in video games or payment processors stealing your fucking freedom to the point where you cannot even pay your money for products you want to buy that are 100% legal products. At the end of the day, this is a bigger deal than Gamergate. So if Gamergate, just a movement about, feminist dumb bitches in the media wanting to cancel gamers just for having preferences, if that can go on for a year, this should easily be able to go on for a year, if not more, as long as we keep pressing the issue. And maybe it won't even take a year. Maybe we'll see change before then. Somehow I doubt it, but yes, that's my thoughts on it. So, alrighty, that's all we have for the collective shout stuff today. Before we get into the Mutahar stuff, excuse me, I have another story. I have one story that leads in to another story, honestly. So, what up, Paul? How you doing? So let's talk about this right here. Viral Japanese salary woman joins YouTube after being compared to Sydney Sweeny. Now, I saw the pictures and whatnot floating around X. She's a cute girl. I think it's funny. She even has been retweeting some of the memes about this. This girl has here, like, somebody did an edit to change this into a giant One Piece book, and she reposted it, being like, "Oh no, they coming from One Piece." Like, it was funny, it was cute, it was wholesome. I understand why the internet's being obsessive over this girl. We live in an era where, you know, OnlyFans and smut and pornography is incredibly normalized. So it's actually refreshing and almost sexy in its own right to see a regular cute ass Asian girl like this. I don't know about the Sydney Sweeny comparisons, but, like, I get the sentiment. Now, this is going to lead into a Sydney Sweeny story. However, let's read through here and get caught up, because I'm actually not all up on what this was, aside from seeing the picture flow around. A Japanese woman is going viral on social media, and she's decided to join YouTube amid her newfound fame. In July, X users began sharing a photo of a salary woman, SAO, an office worker who does modeling as a side gig. Okay, is that her name, Sao? Anyway, a photo showed Sao in a business attire against a wall and gained a lot of traction after the post put the Japanese model next to Sydney Sweeny, who's just started an ultra-viral, yet controversial American Eagle. Notice how even this Dexterito article, which has nothing to do with the ad campaign, calls it controversial. Because that's the actual story we're going to be covering, is this controversial fucking ad that's not controversial whatsoever. Caption, which way, Western man? The post is viewed over 35 million times with users debating which of the models they prefer. The virality has resulted in many fans following Sao, who is taking advantage of her popularity by branching out and making videos, starting with a YouTube short. And I was going to go ahead and watch the short right here, assuming that it is subtitled.
Hello everyone, I'm Sao.
Oh good, it's in English, even better.
Thank you for watching this video right now. Over the past few days, my face has been spreading all over the X worldwide, so thank you so much for that. So I decided to start YouTube channel. My first video might be a Q&A style one, maybe. But if there's not much interest, I might just give up. Thanks for being here, and I'm excited to start this journey with you. See you again soon on social media. ありがとうございました。
Yeah, cute girl. She's capitalizing on it. 100% capitalizing on the meme. You love to see it. Like so many people do this. The Hawk2 girl did this. Capitalized on the meme. Got rich. Good on her for jumping in, striking while the iron's hot. I'm gonna be real. She don't need to be doing a whole lot more than just like Q&A video and whatnot to maintain any sort of relevance. But if that's not her main bag, that's not her goal, yeah, fair enough. Either way, I can see why this is going the way it is. However, the real bitch of the bunch, the real story, is this right here. American Eagle searching for new social media manager amid Sydney Sweeny campaign backlash. And we have several articles about this. So before we get into them, Hayden Wayne with a 10-banger. Girl next door look has been hot to men for all of time, and feminist hogs hate that. I mean, I couldn't agree more, dude. The girl next door look is like one of the sexiest looks women can have, because it portrays an era of innocence, of natural femininity, which that's the one thing feminists really fucking hate, is, you know, traditional femininity. But also there's just a certain desirability in knowing that a girl has not been, you know, like spoiled by other men or whatever. Like there's a whole reason that there's like girl next door is literally a subgenre of pornography, because this already real life iconic sort of archetype, for lack of a better word, of women exists, and you can capitalize on that. Hayden, my man, this is for you.
Now excuse me while I harass someone for having pronouns in their bio.
Bingo, bango, bongo, there it is. So now we're going to read through here, but there's a few of these articles we got to cover because I find it is very important. So again, American Eagle searching for new social media manager amid Sydney Sweeny campaign backlash. American Eagle is looking for a new social media manager amid the ongoing controversy over its latest campaign with Sydney Sweeny. The retailer shared a press release July 23rd to announce its latest advertisement. And yeah, we get that. You know, they did the Sydney Sweeny has good jeans. Well, the tagline appeared to be a pun about denim. By changing the word jeans to jeans, it sparked immense criticism online, since the phrases good jeans and great jeans have historically been used in the language of eugenics. Nobody actually thought this. Now, I know a lot of folks, like I showed them up on Countercast on Monday. We all talked about it, you know. All these angry fucking feminists that were throwing a bitch fit, like, oh, it's eugenics. These left-leaning loser nut jobs don't have a good goddamn thing going on in their lives. Try to make nothing out, try to make just a massive issue out of nothing. Now, my thought process is, honestly, this is a psyop. My honest thought is that, yeah, these women don't even think this. I think that these are influencers being paid behind the scenes to spark up a narrative. And now, I'm even more... I believe in that thought process even more after what we're about to go over. We believe the human race can be improved genetically by selective breeding. Many people know that apparent subtext of the campaign and criticize it for the lack of diversity. There's fucking one person in the ad, Sydney Sweeny. What do you mean a lack of diversity? She's the only one there. To remind all y'all that diversity means not white. Remember several years ago when they were trying to push off this diversity kick, like, oh, we need to make everything more diverse, and at the time that included women. It was like, there's too much men in everything. To add diversity, we need to add women. Now that's been a decade and a half ago. Women ain't enough anymore at this point. Like, hey, if it's white, it ain't right. However, only 2 days after American Eagle launched its ad campaign, the company revealed it was hiring an associate manager on its social media team. The job posting was shared July 25th on its corporate site as well as on LinkedIn. However, it's not clear if the social media team vacancy has anything to do with the immediate backlash over the new campaign. I don't think it does. I don't think that, like, after a massive viral ad campaign like this, after spending all that money for Sydney Sweeny, and then more than that, after the huge stock blow up that happened. Now, to be fair, the stock blow up was artificial. American Eagle did see a stock blow up, but it's like a meme stock. You know, it was a meme stock in the same way that GameStop a few years ago was a meme stock. People started buying in and then shorting it, and then it's. The point is, the American Eagle stock change and stock explosion is artificial. However, I don't know if artificial is necessarily the right word, because if they had never made this ad, then the meme stock never would have been created. So I don't know if artificial, maybe I should say it was an accident. Like, they did not expect this ad to make their stock jump the way it did. They just happened to hit gold with an ad that would go beyond viral. Yes, you do, Wyron. Yes, you do. According to the job posting, the company is seeking candidates who have a sharp creative perspective on social content and understanding of what resonates with Gen Z across platforms. Well, hold on. If you're wanting to resonate with Gen Z across platforms, then these are the ads you need to be doing. Why? Because poll data shows, poll research shows that Gen Z, by and large, for their age group, are actually skewing more conservative than millennials were at the same time. So they're actually clearly hungry for stuff like this. You'll want to make more stuff like this. Not only that, I don't know if Gen Z is who your stuff should be being, catered towards, because Gen Z, they're young. They're just now entering the workforce. American Eagle, that's a pretty top of the line name brand for your average middle class person. So the stuff's a bit expensive. You don't want to really cater to the people that don't have the money. So at the end of the day, Gen Z are the wrong folk to market to. You want to market to millennials, people who are in their late 20s to early 40s, and are they even? Yeah, I think the youngest millennial would be 28, something like that. So 29. So late 20s to early 40s. The people that finally are starting to have money again, along with helping to maintain American Eagle's cultural relevance. Well, you did go with the Sydney Sweeny ad, because Sydney Sweeny is one of the most culturally relevant figures in Hollywood right now. The associate manager is in charge of content creation, managing, planning the content calendar. They will also identify, creator, and influence campaigns, ensuring our product is showcased in the most engaging, authentic, and aspirational way possible. This person should have a deep understanding of social-first content, be energized by the fast-paced internet culture, and have a sharp eye for brand storytelling, especially through influencers and creators. The description of the role reads, it's not clear the role requires interacting with angry customers and social media users, including those who continue to voice their concerns over the company's campaign with Sweeney. Again, nobody who is voicing their concern was ever going to buy shit from American Eagle to begin with. They weren't. Why? Because American Eagle is a pretty regular, average, normal, everyday brand. Do you see these blue-haired land whale feminist freaks wearing normal, average, everyday clothes? No, dude. They look like they lost a bet, had to go the DAV blindfolded, and just start randomly putting shit in a busted-up shopping cart where they can buy a whole-ass outfit for $2.12, and then they have to wear that in their next up-and-coming TikTok video. Like, point is, American Eagle was not the target demographic of these blue-haired feminist freaks that are making these videos, which, again, psyop. Advertising has always been and always will be about subtext and interpretation. If you're going to run a campaign that has a double meaning, you better be clear on what the double meanings are. Making a blonde white lady the sole face of your campaign, saying she has good genes against the backdrop of literally everything happening in the world, is a choice, one person wrote on LinkedIn. Yep, and it was a good choice, because it's not about having a blonde white lady. It's about having a hot bitch. It's about having a fucking babe out there. You know, look, I've already seen several of y'all in the comments say that the ad worked on you. Exactly. Bingo, bango, bongo. Their stock shot the fuck up. Why did it shoot the fuck up? Because the ad worked, and it worked on a lot of people. So, yeah, again, this is a psyop. You want to know how I know it's a psyop? American Eagle, Sydney Sweeny, good genes. Ad went wrong. Hold on. You're telling me that this Dexterto article from July 29th called the ad controversial. This Yahoo News article from July, I believe also July 29th, from July 29th, said that the campaign got backlash. This Washington Post article from July 28th, where it all went wrong. And this is an interview. These people are interviewing motherfuckers. Like, let's see. I found the album cover very disturbing. Oh, okay. Well, they're not to the Sydney Sweeny stuff yet. Let me just scroll through here a bit, or maybe I scrolled too far. Let's see. You know, I'm a fashion fanatic. Images that make you stop and think, whether you're disturbed or delighted, or even better, have no clue what to make of what you're seeing, are really excited and rare in this era. But it's strange to see a brand like American Eagle go in this direction. Should teenagers be served a vision of sexuality and fashion that feels so regressive? So seeing these images with no accompanying text, I don't think I would have guessed American Eagle in 2025. I will say that the far right's embrace of Sweeney and gleeful reaction from far right-wing creators to woke backlash to the campaign lends credence to my initial alarm when I saw the ads. This someone appreciates across the political spectrum. Recall back in 2022, she was called in line for a picture of a family birthday party, which she was an attendee, was wearing a Blue Lives Matter t-shirt, and her own TikTok page pictures her as car obsessive, not afraid to get under the hood though her hair looks perfect. She's also a Hollywood powerhouse who's producing movies and starring in iconic Gen Z movies and TV shows. How does she do this? There's something about her giant, sleepy eyes and flared nostrils that evokes distance and disaffection. Like, again, we've got now 3 articles despite the fact that people across the world and the internet and whatnot are loving this ad campaign, despite the fact the ad campaign was a success, generating a whole new stop boom for American Eagle. We now have 4 articles about this. This is another one from July 28th, and this one's got the wildest title of all. Sydney Sweeney's ad shows an unbridled cultural shift towards whiteness. And it's being presented as a bad thing. This is being presented as a bad thing, that it's showing a shift towards whiteness. Guys, how is putting one of the most beautiful, famous, successful actresses of the last couple of years that the internet is all a buzzword right now, how is that a cultural shift towards whiteness? Because here's the dealio. Let's just say that Sydney Sweeny was anything other than white. She still would be as popular and beloved and would be huge for. Why? Because these marketing campaigns, these ad campaigns, they fucking use famous people. Dude, when Ozzy Osbourne was doing a World of Warcraft commercial back in like 2008 or whatever, and that shit was funny as fuck, do you think they got Ozzy Osbourne because he was white? Or because he was just a famous dude that they could use to make a funny video, a funny commercial to get people to play World of Warcraft? Because you know good goddamn well Ozzy Osbourne wasn't playing no World of fucking Warcraft. Like, alright, I'll let you guys just take a nice long look at this for a moment. And, alright. This week, American Eagle was brought as baby tees and low-rise denim in the aughts. Debuted an advertisement campaign starring actor Sydney Sweeny, Sweeney 27. God damn, the fact that she is 27. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. Featured doing all sorts of American things in her American Eagle denim, like leaning over the hood of a white Mustang or lying on the floor holding a long-haired German Shepherd puppy. In the end of each video, an off-screen voice speaks over blocky letters declaring Sydney Sweeny has great genes. The wordplay was made even more explicit when American Eagle posted a video of Sweeney standing in front of a poster bearing her likeness with the word genes crossed out and replaced with jeans. Guys, having good genes is not inherently a Nazi thing. Lots of people got good fucking genes. Now, maybe not those Middle Eastern fucks who are out there, you know, worshiping Allah and fucking goats and being all inbred and shit and getting their toes webbed, which they don't even need webbed toes. They don't have water out there to swim in, so it's not even a biological advantage. But in the most part, anyone of any race or any ethnicity from any country or whatnot can have great genes. Leon, there's 4 at the front of my age. There's a 4 at the front of my age. Okay, fair enough, Killer Games Cast, fair enough. The backlash has been swift and fierce. Has the backlash been swift and fierce? No, the backlash has not been swift and fierce. The backlash has been a fucking psyop. It is a fake. This backlash isn't real. Why is it not real? Because it can generate articles like this that commentate on how about how American culture is intrinsically racist and obsessed with Nazism. I good goddamn guarantee you these articles would not be being printed like this under a Biden administration. This is all an attempt to drive people away from, you know, conservatism or Republican voting or, you know, whatever it may be. And because that's why these all have the same opinion. They all have the same. Again, let's take a look at this one right here. Viral Japanese salary woman joins UTR being compared to Sydney Sweeny. This article has nothing to do with the ad campaign, but it goes out of its way to mention the controversial ad campaign. They are making this shit up because, again, it's funny they bring up Nazi propaganda when this is fucking propaganda. Like, you don't get 4 articles minimum over 2 days on this subject if it wasn't propaganda. That's the point I'm getting at. Like, what is the problem if there was a cultural shift towards whiteness in a country that is majority white? Let's be real. Is majority white. And you know what? They call Jews and Asians white adjacent. No, Jews and Asians ain't white adjacent. And there's nothing wrong with that. Asians are cool as fuck being Asian. Look, I don't want my anime to come from some fucking white guy. I want my anime to come from a fucking Asian. I ain't gonna read no American fucking manga that's not really manga. I'm gonna read my manga from a fucking Asian. I don't want video games, you know, I don't want to play Western video games, and I don't want my Japanese video games trying to make things for a global audience because of the West. I want my video games to feel fucking intrinsically Japanese. Why do I want my video games to feel Japanese? Because I know there's a difference in their culture. So yeah, any like successful or you know, looked at as successful minority in the media, we see are called white adjacent all the time. Again, specifically happens to Asians and Jews. But the idea that there's this article showing an unbridled cultural shift towards whiteness, again, pure propaganda. 4 articles over 2 days, and I could goddamn guarantee you guys there's more. There's absolutely more than just those 4. However, all 4 of those were put on my like front page Google News list. Now that should be telling you something. That's a pretty telling sign. But anyway, I just figured that I wanted to make you all aware of this in case that you're not in the know. You don't keep up. You don't notice patterns or notice trends. This Sydney Sweeny ad, all outrage towards it is fake and manufactured. The Sydney Sweeny ad, like, it started off with these viral TikToks that I guarantee you were bought and paid for. Maybe 1 or 2 of them were original. I'm sure there's some dumbass feminists out there that threw a bitch fit because of my sexy women working on a car. Oh, there's beauty standards. Oh, Americana this. Look, I'm sure there was absolutely some fucking blue-haired land whales that did it authentically. But the majority of those that blew up and went viral, I absolutely think were bought and paid for because only a couple days later, lo and behold, all these articles started getting written about it. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. Time for the main event. But we got other stuff to go over as well, not just this. We got some other stuff to go over as well. But let's do the main event. Let's talk about Mutahar, Some Ordinary Gamers. YouTube's biggest liar, Some Ordinary Gamers. This video got made, I believe, yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday, either way. Absolutely calling out Mutahar. Now, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about this Mutahar situation. All I know is that I saw a lot of folk talking about it, and I was curious. Why was I curious? Well, for one, besides being a drama whore, I don't like Mutahar. I don't like Mutahar. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like him. I don't like his content. I never have liked his content. There's something about it that seems so fake and forced. Like, the channel's name is Some Ordinary Gamers, but, like, he has always given off this air of, like, trying too hard to be ordinary, to be normal, and to be the voice of the people. Like, I can't prove anything, and maybe I'm way off base. Maybe he is just, like, literally a normal, everyday, regular guy who, makes YouTube videos, got really successful. Fair enough. Like, but, man, it's just the vibe I get, you know? Yeah, fair enough, Paul. Yeah, he fell off after distancing himself from Nux. Yeah, the Nux situation with him was absolutely insane. So yeah, I'm gonna check out this video, and see how he is, the biggest liar.
Massive day for the unemployed.
Hold on. Yeah, there we go.
Massive day for the unemployed. Mutahar just got exposed for lying about it. Massive day for the
I didn't do that, YouTube did that one.
Mutahar just got exposed for lying about his job for like 10 years. Apparently, he's been lying about his credentials for well over 10 years and deceiving his audience.
I'm a dropout myself.
So it's a 13-minute video. If this is all about him just, like, lying about what he did for a living pre-YouTube or whatnot, I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna give a shit less about that. There needs to be something more, or it needs to be an egregious lie that somehow, like, ties into his audience or his content creation. I'm not sure though.
I've never finished university.
Dropout, liar, fraud. A creator by the name of Nick Andros dropped this bombshell, and by golly, let's check it out.
Hey, YouTube isn't my job. Thank God my job isn't YouTube.
YouTube is not my job. YouTube is not my job.
Alright, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. You don't have 3.85 million subscribers if YouTube is not your job. Like, if you're just a regular, everyday content creator, and you've got almost 4 million subscribers, YouTube is 100% your job. That doesn't mean you don't do side gigs. That doesn't mean you don't do other things or whatnot. But no, once you start hitting once you start hitting in, like, the hundreds of thousands or whatever, YouTube probably being your main bag, or at least internet culture in general, being an influencer, streaming, whatnot. So yeah, YouTube, dude, this for 2020, he had 3.85 million subs then. I don't even know what he's at now. This was his job then. So I will say, even if he does have another job, even if he was doing YouTube quote unquote part-time, even if he had other work, YouTube was absolutely his job, and I guarantee you he was making more from YouTube than whatever else he was doing. Like a video titled "YouTube Will Never Be My Job" getting almost 500,000 views, as opposed to being something, controversial or some highly edited artistic work. Dude, you probably got paid bank off this.
YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job.
YouTube is not my job.
I use YouTube as a hobby. This is not a job for me, okay?
All right, so if YouTube isn't his job, what is his?
Now, you could try giving the benefit of the doubt and that, like, oh, well, YouTube's not my job, as in I love what I do. And when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Like, no, that's clearly not what he's meaning here.
Job, you might ask yourself. My guess is like Nintendo.
Thank you for the fat chat,
So,
Paul.
what is that job? If you ask Mutahar's fans, they think he's a cybersecurity expert, an IT professional, a video editor. Ethan said, day trader. There seems to be an awful lot of uncertainty about this definitely real job that Mutahar has.
My apologies.
Now, here's the dealio. If you, I don't care if he lies about what his job is. YouTubers, certain folk want to have, security or privacy or whatever it may be. Not knowing what the guy does for a living doesn't bother me. What would bother me is blatantly lying to your audience about YouTube, like, not being your main thing, if that's what it is. And again, once you hit almost 4 million subscribers, YouTube is 100% your job. You need to be honest with your audience about that, especially if your name is Some Ordinary Gamers and you want to fit in as this everyman type. Part of being an everyman is maintaining, like, being honest and open with your audience and whatnot. So yeah, needless to say, I that's why I think, like, one of the many reasons, like I said, because he's always come off as, like, fake and forced and phony to me. So this is a problem. Lying about YouTube not being your job. because you think it, and I'm just assuming here, but because you think it will separate you from the average normal person is 100% a problem. People can be 100% normal and still have their job. YouTube is my main source of income. YouTube is what I do for a living. YouTube is my job. I make an absolute bare minimum average living because I'm a very fucking small channel. Now, can you do YouTube full time with not even 8,000 subscribers? You can. It's hard. I do it, but I'm honest with you guys, and it is my fucking main bag. Mutahar having nearly 4 million subscribers, saying as such, like, no, it's his job. Fucking own up to it.
Apologies for not censoring the J slur, but Mutahar, you can't have the pie and eat it too. You gotta be unemployed in these streets, you dig? Saying?
Mutahar's also insisted throughout his career that he is an engineer.
I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm only an engineer. Oh, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm just an engineer.
Tech support stolen valor is crazy.
No, they meant to say do not redeem.
I'm an
After all the do not redeem jokes we made in that earlier segment, like the first segment of the day, we made all those do not redeem jokes, and now it comes full circle. Bros, we live in a fucking simulation. Holy shit. Simulation theory, let's go. What are the fucking odds of that? Do not redeem, do not redeem. Oh, that was goddamn perfect. And yes, Linux is the superior OS. Like, here's the dealio, guys. If he wants to call himself an engineer, if he has the knowledge of it, I actually don't have an issue with that. Like, I'm vehemently against the modern day schooling process of like, oh, it doesn't matter how good you are at XYZ. If you could do this thing or that thing, you can't actually get a job in that field or can't call yourself this unless you've got a piece of paper that says as such. Like, YouTube and the internet at large has opened so many doors for just self-improvement and learning skills and trades and whatnot on your own, at your own leisure, at your own pace, with your own specifically tailored fashion of attacking however you want to learn about XYZ. That Mutahar very well may have an interest in that sort of thing, and at this point, after years of studying it, yeah, maybe he does have the skills of an engineer. Like, even if he is not an engineer on paper, if he does have those skills, I consider himself. Now, do I have proof that he actually did all that? No, I'm just talking about in general. I don't have a problem with people being like, yeah, I am XYZ or I can do XYZ because they learned it from the internet as opposed to some fancy 4-year degree that, put them $160,000 in debt.
an engineer.
But there's multiple types of engineers, so what kind of engineer is he?
I'm a fucking computer engineer. I'm a computer engineer. Dude, I'm a fucking computer engineer.
I'm a YouTuber. Why are you asking me?
And I'm just like a computer
Nux cameo!
Straight up went through hella transcripts and found out that Mutahar was contradicting himself in quite a bit of them. At first he was saying he was an engineer, then he switched it up as well. Next thing you know, he worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
Based on what I've read, it's actually illegal to call yourself an engineer if you are not a licensed engineer.
You know what? I heard enough. Toss this.
I mean, if that's the case, if that's true, guys, that's fucking stupid. I'll be real. Like, it's illegal to call yourself. What? Do you guys know you have to go to college to be a clown, right? Like you actually have to go to clown college to be an officially licensed clown. But if you just, your friend got a birthday, right? Or your friend's kid got a birthday and they're like, yo, can I rent this clown costume and just have you come and entertain the kids and I'll pay you fucking $40 or whatever? Oh, shit. He called himself a clown. He put on a clown outfit. He didn't go to clown college. Throw the man in jail. Like, no, that's gay as shit. I don't give a fuck about that.
In jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200.
For Mutahar to be a licensed computer engineer, for him to be able to legally call himself a computer engineer, or an engineer in general, he would need a 4-year degree, 4 years of training, and to pass the National Professional Practice Exam.
Turns out
again, yeah, I don't give a shit about all that. In fact, I think that's fucking gay.
he really was some ordinary gamer. But it gets even funnier because apparently he's a video engineer too now.
I'm a video engineer now. I think I know how this fucking works. Speaking out of an engineer, like if I...
Alright, that was clearly an out of context clip. Like, I'm a video engineer now. That was I say shit like that too. It's like, oh, dude, I'm a pro gamer. Like, I'm in the middle of a good ass video game live stream, and like I do some dope ass strat. I'm a pro gamer, guys. I'm not a fucking pro gamer. I'm a gamer. I'm not a pro. You wanna know how you know I'm not a pro gamer? Because my gaming channel ain't even been goddamn monetized yet. Granted, I've only done 2 streams on it. We'll be doing another either tonight or tomorrow, by the way. It's gonna be very interesting. But the point is, I'm a gamer, not a pro fucking gamer. Why? Because I'm not. But yeah. If I say I'm a pro gamer, it's obviously facetious to the moment. That clip was so obviously what he meant. He was being facetious. That was an out of context clip. Look, if you're going to make a video called YouTube's Biggest Liar, Some Ordinary Gamers, you can't be putting in so easily identifiable fake bullshit in your video. Sound like an alpaca for a 10-banger. Oi! You got lawyers for that clown mate up, mate?
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Appreciate you, Salika Alpaca. Thank you very much.
If I wasn't a computer science engineer, I wouldn't speak about Elon being an idiot.
You don't need a degree to call Elon an idiot. Like a homeless person outside my 7-Eleven's doing the same thing.
This is why, as a cybersecurity engineer,
This guy's like the jack of all trades, Johnny Sins of engineering. The stolen valor thing said earlier is right. It's like he wants to dip his toes into the unemployed drama sphere without, you know, actually feeling like a loser. You know, own up to it. Who cares? They getting mad, you getting rich.
Mutahar clearly wants the prestige of being perceived as an engineer, given that he's been calling himself an engineer for the past 10 years. And he uses this title to make himself more authoritative.
but I'm an engineer. I know how this stuff is going, so I'm not.
Now, I do agree with that. I do agree that's how he is using the title. Like, absolutely is doing so that he can sound like an authority on the matter, which is fine. That's A-okay. Do what you gotta do. Like, maybe I shouldn't say it's fine. It doesn't bother me that he calls himself an engineer, I should say. But that's, just be honest, that's what you're using it for. Absolutely.
been speaking out of pocket right here, okay? If you want to disagree with me, feel free, but you're actually wrong.
Feel free, but you're actually wrong.
As somebody who is a computer, engineer, somebody who understands computer code, for instance.
It's like that pirate software code meme, and I don't understand shit here, so if anyone smart in the comments wants to enlighten us.
Now, in Mutahar's defense, which I've defended him a couple times in this video, and I've gone on record saying I don't like Mutahar's content. In his defense, I would absolutely believe and trust Mutahar before I would pirate software. Like, for sure would trust Mutahar before pirate software. And not just because he's brown and his people are usually pretty good at that computer shit.
Go ahead.
Like, it's a really good explanation of why, like, I picked engineering as, like, the road to go down when I was studying. I'm like...
So, he would have an engineering degree.
I went to university for computer sciences, and that's it.
Education background, asking because a lot of CS knowledge.
If he lied to Dr. K, I swear to God I'll be angry. You don't want to see me angry.
Okay, so at least a computer science degree.
I thought when I got into university for a while, and I dropped out like a semester in because I was like, okay, no.
Oh, he dropped out after a semester.
Like, I'm a dropout.
Again, as a high school dropout, I couldn't care less about someone dropping out of school. School is a fucking scam. Don't stay in school, kids. Get your GED and go to a trade school. Give me one moment. I absolutely need to grab another bottle of water. We'll keep going with the reaction in a moment. But I'm running out of water. There we go. I'm back. I had one sitting just off camera, but no chair stream for you guys today. But anyway, point is, I don't give a fuck if it's a dropout.
Myself, I've never finished university, but I'm not going to dog on, like, school. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to learn...
I absolutely will dog on school, dude. It's a unless it's a trade school, it's a fucking scam.
Very valuable. Yeah, if you're going to be an engineer, if you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, if you're going to be in the STEM field.
And now he dropped out all of a sudden. It's like he spun a web of lies and, got lost in his own sauce. Some ordinary spider. I don't even know how to explain this, Maybe he started out just, kind of slightly exaggerating his qualifications, and then he just, got sort of caught in the lie and ended up living it.
I feel like there's a weird misconception. People think I'm, like, some fucking crazy degree holder. It's like, no. No, I would have been way more in fucking university debt if I went down that far route.
I sure wonder why people might have...
Now, I will say, that does give credence to the idea that, again, YouTube is your fucking job. Like, just say it, dude. It's okay. It's not a shame. There's no shame in YouTube being a full-time job. Like, can you imagine back before actors were fucking lame and gay like they are now? Can you imagine Harrison Ford in the 80s being like, Acting's not my job. I'm a carpenter. Because remember, Harrison Ford was a carpenter on the set of Star Wars. That's how he got the job as Han Solo. He was a carpenter on set. Can you imagine if Harrison Ford in the 80s or 90s, after he'd been fucking acting in blockbuster films for like a decade and a half, 2 decades, being like, I'm not an actor. I'm a carpenter. Like, dude, maybe you were a carpenter. And maybe you're still good at carpentry. Maybe you still enjoy doing carpentry and you do it for fun in your basement in your multi-million-dollar mansion. But you're a fucking actor. Like, just own it, dude. It's alright to say you're a YouTuber. It's cool. It's fine. You're living a dream that so many folks would want to do. It's literally more, I don't know about more impressive, but more desirable for like a lot of up-and-coming people that had these dreams of getting into show business or whatnot to be self-made on YouTube. Like, that's, man, just own it. Be proud of it.
That impression.
Is it bad if you don't get a...
Oh, that's a good point. Do what? It might be a family issue, being he's all like, foreign and shit. He's some sort of like Indian or whatever. Like, culturally, it might not be good for him to say that he is a YouTuber, rather than say he's an engineer. Hey, Hayden Wayne for a tin banger. Leon, it's illegal to call yourself a pro gamer if you aren't one. In order to be a pro gamer, you need to attend pro gamer school for 4 years, study under a pro gamer for 4 years, and pass the test. Well...
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
My dreams of being a pro gamer shattered before they've even began.
Degree. Look, I'm gonna sound biased as fuck, but STEM degrees all the way.
By the way, thank you, Hayden. Truly appreciate it, brother.
I'm biased because as an engineer, you want to get the degree that's gonna.
Diamonds are made under pressure, and Mutahar here is still stuck on iron armor. Like, at this point, I'm expecting a...
Completely unrelated. Completely unrelated, but homie just gave me fucking PTSD. Bro, I love Minecraft. I hate admitting it because I fought playing Minecraft for fucking years. And then about 2-3 years ago, I got really, really fucking into it. I ain't even gonna lie. I got so goddamn into Minecraft. And last night, I had the worst experience playing Minecraft of my fucking life. I played for 2 hours and I made negative progress. Everything that went wrong could have gone wrong. Like, in this server where I hadn't ever died, this server's like a year old, I had not died once. I died multiple times. Fucking 3 different creepers blew up my fucking house. Like, it was just I literally rage quit Minecraft and threw my fucking controller. Like, that is how terrible last night was. And this is stuck on iron armor. It gave me flashbacks to about 16 hours ago when I decided my life was over.
Classic Mutahar trademarked apology video, and I hope he grabs a ukulele.
Other times he says he's a former engineer.
So, like, being a former engineer.
I don't know if streaming Minecraft is honestly good content for about. Maybe it is. I don't know. I have to get it on Steam. I play it on Switch because I'm basic.
Like, I virtualize like everything, so I like contain shit. And
Even an ex-engineer.
The coolest ways possible. I'm like a fucking ex-engineer.
But here's the thing. He's been saying he used to be an engineer, or that he worked as an engineer for 10 years.
You know what? F it. I'm unsubscribing from you, Mutahar.
You know what? This is actually a really good point. Alright, I don't know if he's going to make the point that I'm about to make, but I'm going to make it first to know that, this is an original thought, not just me copycatting. If he has been saying that he's an ex-engineer for 10 years, guys, I don't know how much y'all know about IT. I worked in IT for 7 years, nearly a decade, right? The shit that was normal in IT 7 years ago is so fucking outdated and worthless 7 years later. Again, in most cases, like, you're gonna have stuff that's always stick. Like, Linux always gonna be the best OS. You're always gonna need to know Linux commands, things like that. But like the technology or the changes with networking, network switching, things like that, 7 years later makes a fucking difference. And so the idea of him being an engineer 10 years ago means whatever he's saying about engineering now could very well be out of date. And not very well, 9 out of 10 chance is out of date. So you can't sit here and try to claim some sort of, you have an authority on a subject or a field where you have not, kept up with over the course of a decade. When let's say he was an engineer. If you've been out of that field for a decade and have not kept up with the changes and whatnot, then your authority is 0.
To share sort of my engineering
correct, Cornboy.
background
You're
with
exactly
you.
correct.
I worked as a
I did as well.
engineer.
Alright, before I went into this, I also like to mess around with technology. I myself used to be an engineer before I went to the video editing route.
Mutahar started his channel in 2012.
What up, Golden
the same
Apples?
year he turned 18. By video editing route, he means that he switched careers after his channel began taking off.
Ask any slightly overweight kid in America.
That is a really, really cheesy way to say you're a fucking YouTuber, by the way. It's like, oh, you know, I became a video... Guys, I edit my videos. I edit every video. Do you know how long it takes me to edit a video? I don't know. About 30 minutes to an hour. Just to make sure that I've got everything lined up properly in terms of the audio, to make sure I've got, like, little pop-ups for, like, my logo and, like hit subscribe and stuff like that. To make sure that, in most instances, I won't lie, your boy a one-take wonder. I turn on the camera, I record everything in one go, I end recording. However, when I do make flubs or mistakes, I'll have to edit that shit out. It takes a few moments. Point is, I don't call myself a fucking video editor. Why? Because you don't see me doing, like, high quality like, high quality, highly edited, insane over-the-top edits. Can I do that stuff? Mate, I'm a very mid-tier, editor. Look at my actual high quality videos, and even those are pretty fucking basic compared to, like, you know, what Matt Pat used to put out or whatnot. But I would never call myself a video editor. Honestly, I love video editing because it's therapeutic, it's fun, it's nice to just turn the lights off, pop some lo-fi on, and just sit there and edit a video for several hours. But I don't do those sorts of videos very often because I want to give you guys daily content, and that shit takes a long time.
What they want to be when they grow up. They'll say YouTuber, and somehow, you know, Mutahar thinks he's better than all of us. He's a big boy engineer. Then again, I kind of see his struggle. If somebody asks me in real life what I do for work, I say something stupid like digital marketing.
I worked in film and TV before I still don't have a fancy fucking degree, okay? And there you go, I filmed it, alright? I used my film degree to...
Now, you do not necessarily need a fancy degree to get into IT. Now, to become an engineer specifically, I don't even think you do for that. You need certifications, but that's not the same as a degree. I mean, I started in IT with literally 0 credentials. Now, to be fair, I kind of faked some shit in my interviews. I had to go through 4 interviews because I worked IT for a massive company. I won't lie. I worked IT for a very, very big worldwide corporation. And it was very hard to get that job. And I may or may not have lied about some things during some interviews that they just didn't check, and lo and behold, I got it. But then I spent 7 years actually doing the fucking job and getting the certifications and whatnot. And so, yeah, I mean, again, I don't doubt that you could both be an engineer and not have a degree if he had the proper certs and if his company just didn't care like mine didn't.
He calls it a film degree, but it's actually a 2-year broadcasting/videography diploma he got from Humber College between 2013 and 2015.
Dude, who cares? There's nothing to be ashamed of getting a diploma or like a certificate for cinematography. You're pursuing your passions, you know? Then again...
Agreed entirely. Agreed entirely.
I understand, like, the pressure your parents can put on you, which is, like, more common in Southeast Asian or just any general broad Asian culture. But lying about this is honestly, like, insane.
If he went back...
Well, it's especially insane, and I keep harping on this point, when you call yourself some ordinary gamers. If you want to be your average Joe, if you want to be like the regular everyman, maybe he does, maybe even with 4 million subscribers, he still does all of his own video editing. By golly, if that's the case, mad props to you. But don't fucking lie about it, dude. Just, it's cool.
Studying to get an actual engineering degree, he never mentioned anything about it. Not a single slip. Mutahar was never a real engineer, but he's been calling himself one for a decade because of tech jobs he supposedly had before 2013 or 2012.
Because I never tell people like what I do. Like I never tell people anything, right? Like I don't even tell people I'm not an engineer. I haven't been one for like years.
This is like finding out Santa Claus isn't real. This is like devastating. I thought my slop was handed to me on a silver platter by a professional, not some kind of phony. Bro should have never put on that medallion.
Now, to be fair, you shouldn't be going around saying for your videos in 10 years, I am an engineer. Like, if he was an engineer, which so far, I'm still going to give him, like, the benefit of the doubt that he did have some sort of engineering position, because, again, you can, in fact, get those without a fancy-ass degree, as long as you've got, like, proper certifications, or you've got a company that doesn't care, or other things like that. I'm literally proof of this. Not that I was an engineer, I was just in basic IT, but the point is, you can do that stuff without credentials. But, yeah, I never say I'm in sales. I would say I used to be in sales. I used to do booking and management for bands and whatnot. I used to be in a band. I used to like to play shows. So anytime that I talk about a job I had, I obviously do past tense because I don't do that shit now. Homies should have absolutely been doing the same thing.
No. I'm a computer engineer. It reminds me of another quote. I used to work. Mutahar, the burger flipping engineer. Okay. I heard Mutahar has been deleting his backlog of YouTube videos recently, and now I see this. Damn.
No, I'm video editor. You know, that's how.
Dude, if you're going back and deleting old videos just because you mentioned you were an engineer in them, that's also bitch made in beta. Like, bro, leave that shit up. I've absolutely put videos on not videos only. I've put streams on members only. But I've never once deleted a video that I can think of. Like minus having like it's not uploaded properly, so I had to delete it and re-upload it because there was some sort of like error with the video. But like I've never made a video, even ones where I ended up being absolutely fucking incorrect and got clowned on, like my X-Men 97 video, dude. And in hindsight, bro, I was wrong as shit. I ended up on the front page of Saltier Than Crate getting roasted by woke lefties who, guess what, in that instance, were correct. I was wrong as fuck. But I never have deleted a video, to my knowledge. Hey, what up, JR? It says, hail Gooners, hail to you. Member for 5 months. Thank you so much.
Pay for the strip club and the home.
In 2019, he conflated being a video engineer with being a computer engineer.
I'm a computer engineer, so I really a video engineer, whatever you want to call it. I'm one of those people, so...
Again, totally different qualifications.
Now, for those of you who don't know, one of my side hobbies turned basic, general second profession of mine is day trading, swing trading, whatever you want to call it. I like to sit in the mornings, sip my coffee, go on the NASDAQ, see what I can look pre-market, buy, sell, and be done by, 11 or something?
I'm also a crypto master. I trade bitcoins on the side. You cannot be an engineer working a regular 9-to-5 job in an office and, simultaneously freaking be glued to your screen losing hair.
Yes, you can. Sorry, guys, wrong about this. You absolutely can. Bro, when I worked in IT, I was fucking watching anime while I worked, and I was streaming. Like when I was still doing YouTube part time, while I was doing IT, I would stream while working. Like you absolutely can.
Day trading. You are not Bradley Cooper from Limitless. You are not that guy, pal. You are not that guy.
In 2021, he claimed his job was trading and investing.
My job right now, I just sit around and trade and invest. That's what my job is.
That's like something your unemployed bum friend says when you're like, dude, when are you gonna get a job? And he's like,
I mean, to be fair, I hate that I'm defending Mutahar. To be fair, I've been against him most of this video, but no, you can literally just do investment for a living. But again, let's be real. His main bag is YouTube. Call it what it is. His main bag is YouTube.
day trading's a real job.
I invest. That's my job now. I just sort of sit home and invest money.
Now, if I was ashamed of only being a YouTuber, that is the job I'd be claiming to have. When asked by guests on his podcast about his computer work, he claimed it's only a hobby now.
I don't know.
Exactly. That's what this boils down to, is shame. Why is it shame? Like I keep saying, you can't be ordinary if you're one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform.
How much you want to delve into this,
or at least that's his mentality.
But like you do, so do you do computer stuff on the side,
No,
or that's your main thing?
I literally just invest money. Like I buy property and I invest in.
It's this Canadian's fault the housing market went up. I get it. No, like it just keeps getting worse and worse. Like at this point, I don't even think Mutahar himself knows what job he's doing.
So before YouTube,
he gets the cash from YouTube and invests in stocks. Exactly. Do what? And again, that's fine. Just own up to it. Just say your main bag is YouTube. You get, several $1,000s, maybe tens of $1,000s a month from YouTube, and then you use that money and you invest. All right, your main gig is still YouTube because that's where the initial money is coming from, and that's A-okay. What up, Hani Maui?
Mutahar did the computer, programming, cybersecurity work he thinks entitles him to call himself an engineer.
First Dr. Disrespect isn't the doctor, and now Mutahar isn't an engineer. It's over for YouTube.
How many subs do you have on YouTube?
I think like 3.4 or 5 million or something. I don't know the exact amount.
3.5, like 3.5 million. We'll say that. And you're still doing multiple 9-to-5s where you're running different businesses. You were talking about Q4
Yeah, I'm the
being
CEO of our
extremely
own
busy.
company. Like, I'm the CEO of
Right.
like our own group. We do a lot of like property and like asset investment around where we live.
Now he's a massive real estate tycoon? Like, what's going on?
You upload how many videos a week?
A day.
To be fair, you can be the CEO of a company that's got 3 employees. Like, you say, oh, I'm a CEO, because, again, it seems like Mutahar's really obsessed with status and having authority and feeling more important than he is by saying shit like this. Which feeds into the idea that YouTubers are narcissists, so, you know, I can't say too much different about myself. I'm absolutely a douche.
Like, I upload it every day.
This is why exactly, and why I always.
He really loves bathing in that praise, but it's not enough. He needs to flex more.
Well, that's like the algorithm tell, right? Like when you're like an engineer and somebody's.
I've never seen an expose of this magnitude on anybody, and you know, props to this guy. Subscribe to this guy's channel. He like did the work.
Cybersecurity, because that's what you went to school.
I didn't realize that Nick Andros guy that he was referring to was the one that made the original video. I thought the one we're watching right now is the original video, but either way, yeah, good shit. What up, Valkyrie?
For you're like
exactly,
very
Chill
smart.
Noir.
That was. You do actually business, and then YouTube is a
YouTube is always
thing.
like the secondary side gig.
Even the podcast homies don't know the truth.
This guy has a wife.
Again, and I will maintain this, guys. You cannot be a YouTuber in the way that Mutahar's a YouTuber with all these million subscribers and it be your side gig. Like, for those that don't do YouTube and don't know, the amount of insane behind-the-scenes work that goes into YouTube is exhausting. It takes so much time and effort. And I mean that in a good way. I'm not bitching and moaning about it whatsoever. But like it's not just as simple as you record a video and post it. What could be hours of research leading up to a video, the editing, the thumbnail making process, and even if you have people doing like the editing and the thumbnail making and whatnot for you, there's still a lot that goes into actually prep work for the video. Post work. Once the video is done, you're looking for your next video, all the streams and whatnot, which he's done plenty of. Like, yeah, you don't get to 5 million or 4 million almost subscribers without YouTube being an absolute time suck, which is good. It's a legit, viable, good career. Just call it what it is. Like, this is so easy for anyone that actually does YouTube to see this fucking lie. Like, I almost never. Okay, let's put it in perspective for you guys. Put it in perspective for you. We all know Hypno. Hypno our boy. Hypno our homie. Hypno doesn't even have 100,000 subscribers, and he and I rarely get to game together or hang out outside of texting and streaming because he is so insanely busy, specifically with YouTube. And you now extrapolate that and up it to nearly 4 million subs instead of not even 100K. Bullshit.
He's a CEO, he works 9 to 5, and he uploads daily.
He's literally just the Johnny Sins of YouTube. He's just out here hustling. We don't understand it. You know what would happen if Muta didn't go to work? A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up, disappears. It ceases to exist.
I have 3 or 4 channels, yeah. I think he has 3, but yeah.
Upload every day, and YouTube's not even my job. I was like, shut the f up, bro. But like, yes, it is. Shut up, bro.
Even Ethan Klein's spidey senses were tingling.
He has definitely been lying about being an engineer for a decade, benefiting from the prestige, the authority, and the credibility that comes with that label. You don't call yourself an engineer dozens of times without specifying you're talking about
I mean, from all those smash cuts, I would say way more than dozens, but anyway.
Programming jobs you did 10 years ago. He's clearly mostly just a self-taught tech enthusiast, not an engineer.
Unlike Mutahar, I'm not a liar. You know, my hands are in the air. I might have been the guy who put Mr. Who's the Boss in the video.
It might not be illegal for Mutahar to lie about being an engineer, but by any reasonable definition, he is a total fraud.
Like most Southeast Asians, his
Well, so, XS432, he claimed to be a computer engineer, a video engineer, a cybersecurity engineer, which is why you thought he was a security guy. Yeah, the version of engineer that he claims he is has fluctuated throughout his time on YouTube.
Credentials are sus. Shockingly to absolutely no one, Twitter found this as an excuse to be racist. And
oh shit! Golden apples, yeah, guys. All right, so this is awesome. Golden apple says messing around with grappling hook I made for zombie shooter prototype is so much fun. I don't know if y'all knew this or not. Golden apples is a grappling hook engineer. Sorry, apples. It fit the vibe. I had to absolutely had to roll with it.
I'm going to stand by my Canadian viewers here for a second. Well, you know, at least the ones that prefer iPhone to Android.
Why y'all keep on saying the iPhone better than Android? It's just as good.
It's not a race-specific thing to be a habitual liar, so, you know, let's stop that dialogue right there.
He has no computer engineering degree, or even a computer science degree, but he still presents himself as an engineer, a computer engineer, or a computer science engineer.
And I just scratched the tip of the iceberg. This video goes above and beyond to genuinely check it out. But the ending, chef's kiss, absolute cinema.
Catch you later, C-Brew.
For that, young man. I'm a fucking computer engineer. I don't care.
The only power I have is the one you give me when you lie. By the way, you're exhibiting signs of ADHD. Trust me, I'm an ADHD engineer. Mic drop.
Well, that last line hit a little bit hard about the ADHD engineer. It's just like, yeah, my ADHD pretty fucking insane. All right, guys, we got 30 minutes left, so I don't know that we're gonna get to our last video reaction because the video in and of itself is 15 minutes. So instead, I want to talk about this situation right here. Sony suing Tencent over upcoming video game it calls a slavish clone, whatever, of Horizon Zero Dawn. Guys, I love this. I love this so. I love that Sony is about to be butt fucked. They are so upsetty spaghetti that Tencent's making their own game that's very reminiscent of Horizon Zero Dawn. They are fucking suing them. Sony claims Light of Motiram, Slavic clone. Yes, Slavic clone. Sony claims Light of Motiram was announced after the company declined a collaboration with Tencent. Now, to Sony's credit, when you look at these images side by side, there we go. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Like, that's pretty fucking egregious, right? Like, you got the Robo Dino, you got the redheaded bitch, you got the overgrown world. Like, look, visually speaking, it's pretty damn similar. But I don't. Why is this grayed out? What the fuck? Hold on. There we go. D1 says he doesn't like Tencent. Fair enough. I don't particularly like Tencent, nor do I dislike them. I don't know enough about them. What I do like is Sony being pussies and getting put in their place. Remember Light of Motiram, the Tencent game that was announced in late 24, like Horizon Zero Dawn? No, I don't. Guys, I'm gonna be real. Do any of you guys remember this game? I literally do not remember the announcement or anything. I stay pretty up to date on the all the game events and things to that effect. So no, I don't remember this whatsoever. Anyway, Sony Interactive is suing the massive video game publisher and developing for copyright and trademark infringement over that very game, seemingly agreeing with many online who call it a shameless clone of its own popular post-apocalyptic series. I got the question for you guys. Remember when Pocket Pair decided to shamelessly rip off of both Breath of the Wild and Pokemon all in one game? Everyone is on the side of Pocket Pair because they're so diehard anti-Nintendo or anti the Pokemon company, the direction Pokemon's gone through. That is how I feel about this. Absolutely, that is how I feel about this. I do not care that a clone of a game is being fucking made if it's going to service gamers in a way that the previous games had not. And let's be real, a lot of folk didn't like the Horizon sequel. So yeah, I think that the shameless clone, that's a practice that goes like back into the history of gaming. Clones have been a thing for ages. As reported by Reuters on July 28th, Sony filed a lawsuit last week against Tencent regarding its upcoming video game, Light of Motirin. In the lawsuit, which was filed in California federal court on July 25th, Sony lawyers called the game a slavish clone, whatever, of its popular Horizon post-apocalyptic open-world video game franchise, and alleged it copies elements directly from the series. Guys, I don't give a fuck. I want to show y'all something. Let's see. Can I? So we're gonna go to YouTube. What's that? God damn it! Hold on. I gotta move my stream deck. All right. We'll just click on the ad right here. All right. Not the ad. All right. So we're gonna go to YouTube and we're gonna look up. Wow. Why am I blanking? Jet Set Radio. All right. So, god damn it, I can't type it all today. All right. So. All right, Jet Set Radio. All right, real quick. I promise I'm going somewhere with this. So this is Jet Set Radio. If you guys never played it, amazing game.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
All right, so you guys get the point. This is Jet Set Radio, right? This game came out on the Dreamcast and on the Xbox. The sequel came out on the Xbox. There you go. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Gameplay. Alright. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk gameplay. Yeah, they're the same fucking game effectively. Like, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, because Jet Set Radio never got another game after the sequel on the Xbox. Is that true? It got like a Game Boy Advance handheld version or whatever. The point is, you got two, kind of three, Jet Set Radio games, and then radio fucking silence from that series. It is a dead franchise. Like, Sega has given us nothing from this game franchise since like 2005 or something. Then Bomb Rush Cyberpunk comes out last year, the year it was 2023 or 2024. Guys, not only did it have the same aesthetics, the same graffiti, gameplay mechanics, they even got the same composer to do some of the tracks for Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Like, yeah, I know. So the first one was on Dreamcast. The sequel was on Xbox. That's why I keep saying both. Like, hold on. Need to prove some stuff. All right. How many Jet Set Radio games are there? Wait. There are two main Jet Set Radio games. Jet Set Radio, originally released as Jet Grind Radio. That's what's on the Dreamcast. Then Jet Set Radio Future, which was on the Xbox. I know it was on Dreamcast. I played it. The Dreamcast is my favorite system of all time. I owned Jet Set Radio. My point is, I keep saying Xbox because the most recent release was on the Xbox. Anyway, back to what we were talking about here. Clones of a game are a fucking thing. It's an entire genre. Dude, there was what's that shitty ass cartoon? Adventure Time. There was an Adventure Time video game that came out in like 2015, 2014, something like that. That was quite literally Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, but Adventure Time. Like, that's all. Even the creators said as such. We wanted to create an Adventure Time Zelda game. Like, a paraphrasing, but that was what they said. Okay? Video game clones, 100% thing. That's neither here nor there. Let's keep going. Sony claims Light of Motirin could cause confusion amongst gamers looking to buy a Horizon game. No, it won't. I mean, look, maybe it'll cause confusion for the fucking 35-year-old mom that's never played a video game in her life and she wants to buy little Timmy a fucking video game for Christmas. But no, it's not. No one's gonna buy Light of Motirin and think that it's a Horizon game. No one bought fucking Pal World thinking they were buying a goddamn Pokemon game. No one buys all these Metroidvanias thinking it is a Metroid or Castlevania game. This is such a paper-thin bullshit lawsuit from Sony. Neither Sony nor Tencent provided comments to Reuters. Kotaku has contacted Sony for additional information. When Tencent Leitmotirum was revealed in November 2024, many games and journalists, including Kotaku's own John Walker, spotted numerous similarities between the upcoming game and Horizon. Alright, similarities. That's fine. Guess what? Battlefield has similarities to Call of fucking Duty. Like, I'm sure there are games that ripped off Halo. Klonoa, absolutely a clone of Sonic the Hedgehog. How many Mario Brothers clones out there are there? Like how many just direct clones of Super Mario Bros are there? They cannot own the rights to a genre. You're correct. Now, they can have patents on certain gameplay mechanics and stuff. Like, that's absolutely the thing. They can have patents. We have to see if Tencent is violating patents, but I don't think that there's... Last I checked, there was no mention of that in this article. Yeah, Dreamcast legit my favorite console ever. I hard agreed to what. Both seem to feature robotic dinosaur-like creatures in a lush jungle world filled with sci-fi ruins. Both star a woman with red hair who uses a bow. Well, okay. Robot women. That's the future, guys. Robot women. Anyway. Robot dinosaurs, fucking Exoprimal by Capcom has robot fucking dinosaurs. Like, you don't just own the idea of fucking robot dinosaurs. Reuters reported that Sony's lawsuit, the company claims, has declined an offer from Tencent to collaborate on a new entry in the Horizon franchise. Then later that same year, Tencent announced Light of Motirin, which Sony alleges is copying gameplay, story, and artistic elements featured in the Horizon series. Guys, remember when we were in that one weird era of film where, like, Beast Wars is a good example. We were in that weird era of film where every time a movie released, around that same window was another, like, copycat movie. Like, DreamWorks and Disney had, like, Madagascar and that zoo movie or whatever. I don't remember what it was called. You had The Core and Deep Impact and, what was that fucking one with Bruce Willis about the Armageddon? Yeah, Armageddon, Deep Impact, and The Core, Schizo Suites. No, not Zootopia. This has been like 2004. Not Zootopia, guys. This was like 2004. Yeah, Ants in a Bug's Life. That's another good example. The point is, like, there was a whole ass era of Hollywood that did this like sort of thing where, by the way, Light of Motirum is not coming out around the release of any other Horizon game, to my knowledge. So it's actually less egregious than when Hollywood was doing that shit. Like, I'm sorry, to me this does not sound like grounds for a fucking lawsuit. Like, video game clones have always been a thing. Sony alleges copying gameplay, story, artistic elements featuring Horizon Zero Dawn. Sony also quoted at least one journalist who called it Horizon Zero Originality. I bet it was you. I bet you say zing because it was fucking you narcissistic piece of shit. Sony is asking the court in California for unspecified amount of money and an order blocking Tencent from violating IP rights. It's not, again, I'm not a fucking lawyer. I don't know. But to my knowledge, it's not violating your fucking IP. It's, alright, Patman and Casey Munchkin. It's funny you bring that up, because I just decided, like, I can think of video game clones off the top of my head, but I figured, fuck it. Let's pull up a list of them. Doppelgamers, 20 video games that shamelessly copied other games. Guys, this shit goes back so fucking far. Killer Instinct, clone of Mortal Kombat. Rock Band, clone of Guitar Hero. Shovel Knight, clone of DuckTales and Mega Man. Axiom Verge, which I've never fucking heard of. Clone of Super Metroid. Candy Crush. Bejeweled. Guys, I grew up playing Bejeweled on the fucking home computer back when I was like 4 and 5 years fucking old. Bejeweled 2, by the way, is fucking amazing. Candy Crush is literally just Bejeweled with fucking sweets. It is high-calorie Bejeweled. That's all it is. Dia Bejeweled. Shadow of Mordor, clone of Batman Arkham series. I never played Shadow of Mordor, so I'll just take its word for it. Disney Infinity was absolutely a clone of fucking Skylanders. Dr. Mario, clone of Tetris. And guess what? There's been a million clones of Tetris. Like, there's been a million clones of Tetris. There's also been a million clones of fucking Frogger, guys. Like, Oceanhorn, clone of Zelda the Wind Waker, which I heard was really good, by the way. Not Wind Waker, I fucking love Wind Waker, but Oceanhorn, I need to check this game out. I've heard Oceanhorn was a lot of fun. Darksiders, clone of God of War and Zelda. Cuphead, clone of Contra. Now, look, this one's going too far. This is going too far. Cuphead, way better than Contra. Streets of Rage was a clone of Final Fight, and guess what? By the way, Final Fight better. I like Streets of Rage, but Final Fight better. Yokai Watch, clone of Pokemon. You didn't see Nintendo fucking suing them? Maybe, I'm not sure. Dante's Inferno, dude. Dante's Inferno was literally God of War skin swap. It was just a palette swap God of War. Okay? This is insane. Diddy Kong Racing, Mario 64. I don't know if this one you could really call a knockoff or a ripoff since they're both. I mean, I get it. Diddy Kong was Rare, not Nintendo, but it's using Nintendo characters. Like come on now. Alundra, clone of The Legend of Zelda. I've never fucking heard of Alundra, but I love Zelda, so you know what? I might need to check this out. By the way, this was PlayStation's answer to Zelda. How you gonna be Sony and throwing a fucking bitch fit about another company copying your game or whatever when Sony has ripped off Nintendo so many fucking times? Sony has made a career ripping off Nintendo, dude. Which is fine, by all means. It doesn't bother me. No big deal. Casey Munchkin, which XS brought up. Clone of Pac-Man. Yeah, I can fucking see it. Yes, Astrobot and Mario, Cornboy. Astrobot is fucking Mario. You're entirely correct. Specifically, gameplay-wise, Mario Sunshine. Braid, clone of Mario. Never even fucking heard of this. I don't like the way this looks. I'm gonna be real. Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon is a clone of Castlevania. Isn't Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon like one of the biggest Kickstarters of all time? This is the one I'm thinking of. Upcoming God. Oh, this is upcoming. Never mind. Wasn't there a Bloodstained game that at the time it came out, it was like the biggest game on Kickstarter of all time until. Well, it has a lot in the same vein as Sunshine, but yeah, Galaxy as well. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. There you go. Numero uno. Castlevania Symphony of the Night was a clone of Super Metroid, to the point where the entire genre is now called Metroidvania. And they are dime a dozen, and they are everywhere on Steam. Developers can shit them out like Ritual of the Night. Thank you. Appreciate you. That's what I was thinking of. You cannot, for the life of me, tell me that this is a viable lawsuit. Like, I do not give a fuck how similar they look, how similarly they play, whatever. If Tencent is offering something that Sony has failed to deliver on, like maybe, I don't know, a hot redheaded bitch is the main character instead of a fat fuck that, you know, lesbian, yeah, Souls-like is a genre, Cornboy. Exactly. Like, Lies of P. Dude, not only is that a Dark Souls clone, but it's also using the story of Pinocchio. Monster Hunter has tons of clones. You were correct, Sleeping Nova. Like, dude, Sony are so fucking bitch-made. Like, Sony is losing money after money, dollar after dollar. Fucking Marathon gonna be a flop. Concord was a flop. Sony not even doing exclusives anymore. It is hilarious. Like, the only reason Sony is going to attempt to sue Tencent over this is because Sony knows it will be a huge, massive success, and they can't replicate that. Sony is in the shitter. They're in the gutter. They're experiencing flop after flop. Even the not beloved, but what they thought would be mass beloved, the mass awaited Spider-Man 2 ended up being a fucking disappointment. Like, dude, Sony wouldn't be bothering whatsoever if they didn't know that Horizon is dead, that fans don't care, because they have fucked up Horizon, and now Tencent's gonna come in and give people the Horizon game that people actually wanted. You can't copyright an idea, only unique approach, and only if it's copyrighted. Which, again, the IP of Horizon, absolutely copywritten, however you want to say it. But beyond that, no. Like, imagine the idea of fucking Nintendo suing Sega over Sonic Frontiers because it very clearly borrows heavily from Breath of the Wild. Don't these companies get the making games supposed to be competitive, making like music or art? Right! Music's a great point. Dude, I can't tell you. LMA, I can't tell you how many times I've gone and like looked at band tees. And every fucking heavy metal band uses that same whack-ass, impossible-to-read fucking font where you can't even tell what band tee belongs to what band because they're all the goddamn same. Musician, when you're in the same genre, like you try to tell me there wasn't like competition between, let's say, Lady Gaga and Kesha. The music is basically, at least in the olden days, their music was basically the fucking same. Like, dude, this is such bitch-made bullshit. I love seeing the failure of Sony. I get that people don't like Tencent because they don't like Chinese games. They don't like communism. I'm right there with you. I don't like communism. Communism is gay as fuck, bro. Fuck communism. This shit sucks. It's stupid. However, if there's a vacuum in the market because you've been providing a product and it's a product that has disappointed the consumers, the customers, the gamers, whatever you want to call it, and now someone else is stepping up to say, well, you know what? We'll do it, and we'll do it right. And now you're going to get all butthurt and sue them over it because, let's be real, you know they'll do it right and it'll be a smashing success. This is fear. This is desperation. Hey! Empress Raid, you love to see it. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate you, girlie. 40K Empress. What an absolute legend. We honestly, if you haven't set it up yet, Empress, I'm going to be real. We're wrapping up in about 10 minutes. So if there's somebody else that could benefit from the raid, maybe raid them. I'm not trying to sound ungrateful or anything. And if you've already set the raid, then by all means, I'll just be raiding into somebody else myself very soon. I just wanted to let you know that we're actually wrapping in 10 minutes, give or take. I like COD Mobile, though. It's the best multiplayer maps and guns from various COD games. I mean, maybe. I don't play COD. I don't know enough about COD. But, like, there are games that ripped off COD, right? And it's that simple. Didn't COD, even in its later entries, start ripping off other games? Anyway. I don't have much more to say on this, so I'm just going to vamp with you guys for about 8 minutes or so. Alright, I guess we just did get the Gamer Empress raid. You love to see it. Based. Bet you if Deathblade does Mario v Sonic 3, Mario Nintendo could because DC crossovers, feats and scaling. Yeah, I mean, Mario absolutely should have won the death, not Mario, sorry. Sonic won the first death battle against Mario. Then they went and redid it and they had Mario win. I think that's bullshit. It's like Sonic fucking clears Mario. It's not even close. Sonic clears Mario in terms of feats and whatnot. Empress Raid, you love to see it. Thank you so much. Warhammer, sorry. 40K Empress, she a fucking gem. Mods, one of you mods, if you'd be so kind, drop her link, just in case the people here that for some reason aren't sub to her. She's amazing. She's a sweetheart. She is beautiful. She is all the positive things. For those of you that just came in due to the raid, we are actually wrapping here pretty soon, like next 5 to 10 minutes, so I'll end up raiding somebody else, but I appreciate that you're here. We'll hang out, we'll vamp for a good 10 minutes or so, and then we'll get the raid going elsewhere, because I have at least 2, if not 3 other streams tonight. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll tell you guys what's going on with the next gameplay stream. Supersonic is similar to Super Saiyan DBZ. I mean, not nearly as powerful, but yeah. So I don't know if y'all, who here is fans of the game Sonic Adventure? Just let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you're a fan of Sonic Adventure. Okay? And then after you're done, let me know if you're a fan of Sonic Adventure. Let me know if you're a fan of Super Mario 64. Let me know if you're a fan of Super Mario 64. In fact, which game... We'll do a poll real quick. That'll be fun. We'll round this out with a poll. Which game do you prefer? Now, the answer to this doesn't matter because this does not dictate what I'm playing next. There's a reason I'm asking this. So don't think that whatever one gets the higher votes is what I'm playing. That's not the case. There's a reason I'm bringing up these two games. All right, Mario 64. All right, guys, poll is started. Vote on it. There's 55 of you in here. Let me know what game you guys prefer. Obviously, you guys know my answer. Sonic Adventure is literally my favorite video game ever made. But I have a sneaking suspicion that Mario 64 is going to be the winner here, which is fine. I played Mario 64, but coming with the console is probably a huge part of that. Yeah, Sonic Adventure did the same thing. It's the game that came with the console. I will always do it, gamer. Always. Wow, Collective Post-Wall Karen's never played either? You need to fix that, dude. You absolutely need to fix that. These are both absolute classics. But yeah, I'll let the poll run for a bit. But the point is, these are two of the OG platforming games in the 3D space. You had Mario 64 in 96, then you had Sonic Adventure in 98. And these two games set the standard for what 3D platforming for these mascot characters would be like going forward. Oh yeah, Crush 40, one of my favorite bands of all time. All right, how many people voted so far? We got 14 votes. All right, I'll keep it up a little bit longer. Someone did a fan remake of Sonic Adventure 2 called Sonic Adventure 2 Redo. Oh, I need to check that out. You will update. Oh, what are you gonna update? Oh, excellent! I'm so glad that he's doing better. That's awesome. Came with the console, Dreamcast, impressive, but super unsold console. Yeah, exactly, Paul Myersmith. It was a very unsold console. I think most people probably played Adventure when it was remade on the GameCube. Or yeah, the GameCube. Done in Unreal Engine 5. Nice. All right, so it looks like it's about dead even. So I'll go ahead and end the poll. So I'll just tell you guys now. What I will be doing on my next gameplay stream, which will likely be tomorrow evening, because I don't have any stream. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah, so I will be doing it tomorrow evening after Fan Rant Thursday with the dualies. I have found a ROM hack that puts, and I did one level to test it out to make sure it works, but I found a ROM hack that puts Mario from Mario 64 with his full moveset and everything into Sonic Adventure. Sweet dreams, Gamer Empress. Hope everything is going A-okay. You're in my prayers, girly. I will be doing a ROM hack of Super Mario from Mario 64 in Sonic Adventure, and we're gonna see if we can beat Sonic Adventure, Sonic's campaign, with Mario using Mario's moveset. Because while both games are platformer games, they are fundamentally different games with different movesets, different mechanics. So, can Mario run the gauntlet of Sonic's levels in Sonic Adventure? That is tomorrow evening's gameplay stream over on my second channel, my gaming channel, Glitch in Paradise. If you guys have not subbed to that channel, if you've not subbed to Glitch in Paradise, let me go ahead and just pull up a link one moment here, because I would very much appreciate it if y'all check that out. Here it is. Okay. Glitch in Paradise. This is the new gaming channel. I've only done 2 streams on it at all. We're not even to 100 subs yet. If you're new here and you've not subbed to the gaming channel, yeah, definitely check that out. But that is tomorrow night's gameplay extravaganza. We're going to be doing a ROM hack that combines Sonic Adventure and Super Mario 64. I am quite excited for it, if I'm being honest. I think it's going to be a blast. And then closing thoughts, we'll go ahead and end this. Let me see who we're going to raid. Let me see who is live right now. Hey, thank you, Game Ramper. Truly appreciate it, girly. Now go the fuck to bed. You need sleep. Go to bed. Love, love. Yes, love, love. All right. Let's see. Yarn Witch is live. You know what? I've not rated Tommy. We'll raid Tommy. I've not rated him like. I don't know ever. I don't know if I've ever rated Tommy. That's uncool. Whoa, wait. Humpty Chinwag. Okay. Yeah, he's live right now. We're good. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. We'll rate it into Tomby. Guys, for those of you that did not know, I released a video about an hour before going live every day. I put a video out on the Joey Swole Hulk Hogan situation today. So yes, check that out. Hey, I appreciate it, Gaming Wolf. Beyond that, thank you to everybody who donated. It truly appreciate it. You don't need to, you do. It means the absolute world to me. We're gonna end this stream. If those of you that don't donate are not able to, that's also a-okay. I just appreciate you being here. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock a.m. for the avocado people. Get your lunch hour on. Hopefully this is a fantastic lunch break for you guys. Hopefully you found some enjoyment. We'll have more to talk about tomorrow. And I will see you guys on Nadia and Zax's streams tonight. Until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.